All right, welcome back into another episode of Indiebnb. Today, I am joined by Sophie Jamieson out of London. Sophie, how is the future for us? I mean, 2:00 right now. You know, what's in store for my day today?
For my day or for your day?
For my day. I mean, you're living in the
For your
future.
day? Oh, I guess I am. Well, in London, the sun has come out for the first time in about a week.
All right.
As you can see, I've got the 2:00 sun on the face through a little crack in my window, which is really nice. So if you can't see my face, I don't care. It's totally worth it for me.
A little bit of sunshine in London, not dreary like it's been portrayed to many of us. So that's good.
No, it's been dreary all week. Right this second, it's sunny.
I got you. Well, excited about, kind of to share and talk through some of your new, music that's coming out. And really, but want to kind of take it back before kind of all this stuff. Like, have you been in bands your whole life? Like, what's what's kind of your inspiration to kind of, put stuff out and, keep, putting music out?
I haven't played in bands my whole life. I've always just played my own music, sometimes with a band. But yeah, I'm one of these artists who, I don't know, has managed to make it about them through all of their time playing music. I'm not a particularly skilled musician, so I don't think I'm very useful to very many other people's bands, but I've kind of just ended up writing songs and then playing them live and recording them. I don't know. It's just ended up that way. It's funny how I think when you start doing this and something about it flows with who you are, you just kind of end up following that good scent. And I think that's what I've done. I've kind of, I've tried to quit music before, and then I've ended up just coming back to it because it feels like the only place where I really belong. But yeah, in quite but it's always been, just me and my own songs. I don't really write with anyone else or often play with anyone else, which is not something that I want to be forever. But that is the core of it. Does seem to usually come down to just
Yeah. I read on through our contact that how do you want to be loved, which would be the song that we feature today. Like, that was through had something to do with a fight in your family. So like, do you take a lot of personal experiences and really either work through them or create through them with with your music and your writing? Like, what's kind of your process there?
Yeah, well, I think I use writing to try and understand what is uncomfortably mysterious about certain emotions or frames of mind. I mean, that song, I kind of I felt like I was in a position where I felt like I should be feeling something. I should be more open-hearted than I was able to be, and the only way I could conceive of getting there, of like, being mature enough and large enough to forgive someone or to understand them, was to try and write into that.
Mm-hmm.
And as always happens with songwriting, I didn't write the song I thought I was going to write. I thought I would sort of magically, I don't know, convince myself to feel a certain way. And as with these things often happens, I just had to say it like it was. But then I still learned something within that. And that song has also continued to give in the way that, I don't know, there was still some mystery for me in those lyrics that I'm still unpacking. So it's a good example, if you like, of why, because I don't know, I feel like I'm almost consistently overwhelmed by, different combinations of feelings, and often trying to get my head around what I shouldn't be feeling, or what should be coming to the fore, or what is coming to the fore, or what I'm finding easier to channel. But I find that songwriting is a very effective way of letting everything be true at once, and somehow, I don't know, like dissipating some of the tension and like laying it all out so that you can actually hold it all.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I don't know, it kind of lets things be more in what they are, and also like, yeah, a little more,
Gotcha.
yeah, holdable, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, so, is that kind of the theme throughout all of your like your albums, or do you feel like this is something that's, hey, I still want to share, which is out January 17th, like, this is going to be the focal point of kind of, that album, right? Is, laying it all out there, letting it be everything at once. Like, is that kind of was the focus when you were writing this particular album, or do you write albums differently based on what you're feeling at that time? Like, what's kind of the inside there?
I don't really try to write albums in a particular way, or I haven't so far. Apart from the album that I'm writing at the moment might be the one that I'm doing with the most sort of intention. But in the past, the first album and this one, the writing is overlapped between them, and they've really just come out the way they have. I think with this one that we're releasing now in particular, I think this is an album of a lot of things being true at once. But I think that has been clear to me really just in retrospect, because it's taken a long writing process in which every time I've written a song, I've understood the larger project differently. There's every song kind of like there's another color added to the picture, and I couldn't really like when there are two songs, you're like, okay, so the album's a bit of this and a bit of that, and then there are three, and you're like, okay, there's like more layers, and then it goes on until you have the whole thing, and then you can see the pattern that runs through the song. But this is what I love about pulling together a group of songs. It's a really creative process in itself, and yeah, there are decisions to be made, but really you just got to listen to which songs want to be together without fully understanding why.
Mm-hmm.
And the patterns just keep emerging. Hopefully, I mean, when they do, it's really nice. When they keep emerging over time, even, after you've released it or whatever. But with the album before, I'm actually, when I've been talking about it with some press stuff recently, I kind of can't really remember. I think I have a tendency to sort of blank out the whys and hows of that one. But I think that was a kind of an effort to just like purge a lot of struggle and pain. And with that one, I think it was less lots of things true at once than accidentally discovering an underlying strength and hope through the music that I don't think I really realized was there at the time, which was lovely to find in retrospect. But my music's just gently evolving over time in a way that I'm not really aware of when it's happening, which is part of life and a beautiful thing about doing this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of nice to be able to go back and look at the, the past albums to then see like, okay, I've made sense of some things that, were going on at that time and kind of moving forward. With How Do You Want to Be Loved, particularly, like we always kind of want to break down even the musical part of it, not just the songwriting, but how did you start that song? How did it become something to, nothing to something, really, like from, the lyrics, music, all of that? Like where did you begin on that particular track?
Well, I came home after Christmas with my family, and I wanted to write this song. And I don't know, I think I was fiddling with a nylon string guitar, and I do remember actually just sort of finding this little chord pattern, just moving my fingers, like two fingers up and down the same two strings, and just finding a little pattern, and then I think the words "How do you want to be loved" came, and that was the chorus, and that came first, and then I think I just was playing that over and over again, and it felt good, and it kind of like allowed some colors and aesthetic to emerge in my head. I think it felt very like brown and dark green, like sort of forest and soily colors. And then I think from there I remember like just singing, like I think I knew that I wanted to talk about what the like how the mother cares for the child. I wanted to like acknowledge the beauty of that selfless generosity, and that's really where I think that's where I wanted to start. And I found myself, I think I was looking out this window and bird watching a bit, and I sang, yeah, a glimpse in the mist, you catch the last worm and chew it up for us. And that felt like my sort of, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm appreciating this. Yeah, and then it kind of all tumbled from there. And I tried to stay in that vein, but I couldn't. And I sort of had to let a lot of other stuff out. But then I had already started recording the album when I wrote that song. And I normally demo my songs quite thoroughly before bringing them to the studio. But I had a feeling it would be fun to just take the raw acoustic song in and get quite creative with arranging it, which is what we did, and we had so much fun, and made it bigger and weirder than I'd expected to, which was wonderful.
So when you go into the studio there, like, I mean, and you said like kind of make it bigger, are you, you know, adding and kind of layering in like the strings and different things there? Like what are some of the things that you do to make something like, you know, How Do You Want to Be Loved bigger?
Well, it really depends on the song. But with this one, we started off with the guitar and vocals, which I think is like generally how we started, how I probably would normally start anything, but that's how we did this album. Like everything centered around that. Partly because I play really not very consistently in time. So I tend to sort of push and pull and go a bit all over the place. So we've got to start with a guitar, and we started with a lot of bass. I think Guy, my producer, was excited about playing with bass in this song. So I think we ended up with about 4 different kinds of bass, between synth bass, bass guitar, some like throwing some of these things up an octave, and I can't remember what else, but yeah, I think we had half a day where we just recorded all the bass, and there was like different sort of textures and frequencies of it going on. And then I think we played with some keyboards. I kind of wanted it to be quite playful and intense and slightly eerie. And we had a harmonium in the studio that we'd already used for one other song so far, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a song called Highway. And then we thought that was really rich. Oh yeah, harmonium was one of the other kinds of bass. We threw some of that in, and that was probably the first step towards making the song start to feel really big in the like double chorus. And yeah, then we had a lot of fun with some synths, and I remember coming home from the studio one day and listening to the bounce that we'd done, and suddenly being like, I think I hear like there's a synth in a Wise Blood song called The Movies. I could just kind of hear something like that in this. And the next day I came in and played that to Guy, and then we played around and found something that I really loved.
Gotcha. Well, when, you know, do you have to balance sometimes, like, obviously you're going on tour in January, like, do you have to balance all right, we want to make it big in the studio and have it, you know, kind of feel one way for when somebody listens to it on, you know, their own, but then whenever they come to see me play it, like, you know, how do you balance kind of the live thought about the song and the, you know, the album version?
Well, I have thought about that a lot, and I think my choice is not to worry too much about the album version, because I love going to shows where, for me, the most important thing is that the performance feels really alive, and if the song is good enough, the song will hold with a different arrangement or a simpler arrangement. I know that I wrote this song on a acoustic guitar, and it had something about it just in that form, so I can trust that. Having said that, we've managed to find a way to play it live with a band in still like quite a fairly simple way that I think is still impactful. But I'm really lucky that in my band I'm playing with an incredible cellist called George Lloyd Owen, who is sort of heading the rearrangement of a lot of these songs. So a lot of instruments that are like harmonium or synths or organ or keys on the album are being played on the cello in a slightly different way to like bring that richness and sustain and like elasticity and dynamic. So for me, like as long as there's emotion, dynamic, and what am I saying? Yeah, and movement and life and harmony in the live arrangement, like for me those are the most important things, and the little details can fall to the wayside. But
Yeah,
we'll see. We haven't played it yet.
I got you. Well, like with somebody who has not had the pleasure of seeing you live, like on the upcoming tour, when I buy a ticket and I come in, and how do you want me to leave? What's the feeling you want me to leave with? After your live show in January.
I think I'd like you to feel like the pit of your stomach a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think I'd like you to sort of feel the space in your chest, maybe, or I don't know, feel like you've been beaten up by the wind a bit, or just like I'd like you to feel like you've been in a storm and then come out of it into some calm or something. I don't know. I want to push you around and then throw you out in a nice way with love.
I like it. So we're
I don't know if
showing
that
up to
makes
get
any
pushed
sense.
around a little bit.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
I sing
Well,
loud
as
sometimes.
you've toured, as you toured in the past, like what are some of the places that you really like, that are maybe on the upcoming tour that you are excited to play? Like, do you have any venues that are kind of, come to mind, in that kind of capacity that you're like, hey, I'm excited to go back there, or, play there for the first time?
Well, to be honest, I'm going to quite a few new places. There's only two places on the route that I have played before. So yeah, we'll be playing some new venues in some cities that I've played in before. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I can I can only really think about the show itself, and I think it'll be a matter of turning up and then realizing that I'm in a new place and there are new connections to be made and people to meet, and I haven't really got my head around where I'm going yet. I'm just gonna like show up exhausted and stressed
One
at
thing at a
this
time.
rate.
We're getting
Exactly,
the
yeah.
show right now, Grant. Not we haven't figured out,
Yeah,
where we're going, and we know where we're going. We haven't really like looked into where we're going though.
kind of, kind
I
of.
got you.
I think
I
it's a
got
bit
it.
different when you're playing solo. There's more space to think about that and be present where you are. But I anticipate being not present and all over the place. But that will improve over time, you know, as we get
Yeah,
used to
you
it.
got to get a few under your belt, and then you kind of get the rhythm, and everyone knows. All right, like I need to put the cello up at this time. I need to put the whatever, like get the timing, feeling. I get it. Yeah. What the arrangement? So just not only the cello, but talk to me about the other players in the
Mhm.
band. Like, do you have a guitar player, drummer? Like, what's the arrangement look like for that?
So I've got on drums, I've got my friend Ed Ryman, who has a beautiful project called Healing Child, and I've known him for a long time. He plays on the album. On bass, I've got my friend Ollie Chapman, who I have also known for a very long time. He used to be a folk singer songwriter when I met him when he was 19. I played one of my first ever gigs in London on the same bill as him when we were both very, very young. And I love that he's now going to come and play in my band. It's really special for us both, I think. And I've got my friend Zoe on guitar. She has a beautiful project called Wildest. yeah, and then George Lloydo and on cello. Yeah, it's I'm really lucky. I've got such kind and beautiful people on this project, and they're all being really generous with me with their time and energy. I think I'm not the easiest person to be in a band with. I think I'm a massive overthinker. I'm a big worrier. I'm a perfectionist who's like constantly confused about how far to push something and how much to let people do their own thing. And I'm really learning a lot about like how to get the best out of people, and also how to make sure that they're happy and want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, that's all I want. I want us all to have a good time, especially as there's very little money in it for anyone. Like, it really has to be fun, but also for it to be fun, it has to be good. So finding that balance is, and I've had a band before, but it was a different kind of band. It was many years ago. No one had any need or expectation to get paid, and we were all friends and kind of just having a laugh. It was a slightly different time, and we were a different age.
Mm-hmm.
But things are a bit different now. Everybody's time needs to be respected and valued. And I think I'm even poorer than I was, 10 years ago when I last had a band. So it's, it's tough. It's tough to do, but it just feels like an important thing to be doing right now, regardless.
Awesome. Well, we'll transition from the tour to a little bit, a little bit sillier of a segment here. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. So we'll go through rapid fire. It'll be a this or that, and you'll just respond back with what you're feeling there. So Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. I will give you a heads up at the beginning here. The last question is some bands that we ought to know, that we haven't checked out yet, that we don't know, who some recommendations. So give me a couple to be thinking about, 2 recommendations for me, for us, our listeners at the end. So, but we'll get through the 20 questions here. Pete Peterson's party pack starting right now. Sophie Jamieson, cake or pie? What do you prefer? Cake. All right.
Yeah.
Salad or soup?
Soup. Hot stuff.
Souping it up.
Yeah.
All right. Are you seeing more sunrises or sunsets these days?
Sunsets, yeah. I've been a bartender for a long time, so sunrises aren't really part of my life. Yeah.
All right. Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
I don't know what that means.
It's a little bit American football, language. American football or baseball.
Oh, I still don't really know the difference. I'm so sorry. I feel like maybe baseball.
It's okay. All right. Home run. Wow, we'll go with that.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Night in or night out? What are you having more of these days?
Oh, man, I'm having more nights out, and that's fun. But I'm normally more of a night in person. But okay. Yeah, nights out. I'm on a night out flow. Sorry, this is rapid fire. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, no, you're good. All right. When you do go out at night and your jam comes on, are you more likely to hit the robot or the worm?
Ooh, the worm. Yeah.
Worming it up. All right.
Yeah. I'm not a robot kind of person. Yeah.
Okay.
I would even maybe a little moonwalk.
Well, moonwalk. I like that. We can expect that at the shows in January. I'm going to tell.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting with that. Guac or queso with your chips? I
don't think I've really had queso, so I'm going to play it safe and go with guac. Yeah.
All right. Need to get you some hot cheese. It's good stuff.
Actually, that does sound really good. Maybe I take queso. This is slow fire.
We'll get you. Yeah. Hey, it's okay. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles. Yeah. It's more fun shape.
Coffee or tea? One of my favorite questions to ask the English.
Yeah, I'm a tea gal. I like coffee, but every day tea. Some days coffee, everyday tea.
Everyday tea. I love it. Dogs or cats?
Cat. All the way.
Ninja or a pirate? What do you identify more with?
Ninja or pirate? Probably ninja. I did karate as a child.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. After a long karate match, are you going to go with a Gatorade or a Powerade?
I think Powerade. I'm trying to visualize them. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Powerade. I think I know what that is. I think there's a nice orange flavor that I like. Yeah.
All right. All right. Toast
Cool.
or bagels?
Toast. Toast.
All right. Do you put beans on your toast?
I do sometimes. I'm so English, aren't I?
Awesome. She's checking all the boxes. All right. Crisps or pretzels?
Crisps.
Crisps.
Am I still really
All right.
English?
Well, I actually use I usually I blow that when I'm talking to English people, and I always say like chips or crisps for you.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's yours: chips or tots.
I don't know what tots are.
Tots are
What
the
are
little
tots?
tater tots. You don't have
Potato.
those? Yeah.
I think I've probably had something like that. Did you say chips or tots? Or crisps or tots? Chips or tots?
Chips.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Just go with a familiar,
Yeah, I like it. All right. After a long day, are you unwinding with a TV show or a movie?
I'm constantly trying to unwind with a movie and ending up watching a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are aliens real?
No, I don't think so. I think some other things are real, but I don't really understand the alien idea. I think humans are the aliens.
Yeah. Is Bigfoot real?
Maybe. I don't know. Sorry, I'm really bad at rapid fire.
It's okay. You get it thinking.
Yeah,
It's
I'm really
important.
thinking about it. I reckon no. I reckon
No?
something else is
Okay.
real.
All right.
Something
Is
else
love
is
at first sight real?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Not every time, but I think it happens. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. And the final question of Pete Peterson's party pack of questions: who are two bands that we ought to check out that we might not know? I know you mentioned a couple with some of your bandmates, but who are the two bands that we do not know we ought to check out?
Ooh. And if you don't know them, there's Rachel Lavelle. She's an Irish artist that I discovered earlier this year, and she's just blown my mind open. And then there's, you might know her, but she also has released one of my favorite records in years, is Helena Deland, who's a Canadian artist who released the most beautiful album about a year ago, called Goodnight Summerland. It's one of my favorite things ever. Yeah.
All right, we got Rachel Lavelle and Elena Delan. So everyone check them out. Delan. Okay, awesome. Well, you conquered Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. Congratulations, Sophie. Congratulations on the album upcoming. Of course, January 17th. Everyone mark your calendar. Follow her on, wherever you get music. You will get a notification whenever the new stuff comes out. We're excited to hear the rest of, I Still Want to Share. Obviously, she's got a couple singles out, Camera, How Do You Want to Be Loved, and I Don't Know What to Say. So all of these are already out, and, obviously if you're in the London and in our friends of our UK brethren, you can go see her on tour in January as well. Are tickets available? SophieJamieson.com.
Yeah, yep, they are. Exactly.
All right.
There.
We'll get them. Go buy your tickets. Go see her live. Be able to see the the beautiful arrangement, and it's going to be perfection. She's promised that already, so it's going to be your favorite performance that you see all year next year. Oh, I put those words in her mouth, not the other way around.
Thanks so much, Brian.
That's the Indiebnb guarantee.
Really,
but go see Sophie. Enjoy. It'll be a joy. So, Sophie, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Mate, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.